I feel weird because usually I can see the screen, and it's like it's a thing for me. But now, no.
Now I'm in charge.
Now, yeah.
I'm just watching porn, mate. That's all I'm doing.
You don't want to see what's on the screen. I think we're here to record a podcast. No, this is just some Louis C.K. shit.
Whoa! Ooh,
hold up.
Controversial. Hello, geeks and geekettes, and welcome to another edition of the Geekstation podcast, where we talk movies, TV shows, games, and all things geeky. I am Sinn, and today I am only joined by my co-host Martin. Say hello, Martin.
Hello, David.
Wait, no!
This is just me today.
Oh, it's just you.
David's gone.
He's gone.
I'm in his seat now.
He's gone like an English pastry.
An English scone. He's gone with the wind.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is no longer with us. I mean, obviously he's still with us.
He's still alive. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, he's
very much still alive.
He's in another time zone and in another country and in a whole nother continent.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy.
He's very far away.
He is. He may be joining us again, though, so this may only be temporary.
It's just I can't feel his palpable hatred touching me at this point, which is kind of strange, you know? It's like Stockholm Syndrome.
Yeah, sure. You can't feel his sarcasm penetrating your soul with yeah. It's
pretty much.
It feels weird.
It feels strange.
It does.
I can't. I mean, as I say, I'm enjoying the seat.
No, sure. I was going to say you have taken his seat.
The wooden chair and pillow combo is no more for me.
Yeah, the pillow might have to work its way back into the sitting room now. Now you're not going to be using it on a weekly basis. We might actually have an extra cushion. Oh, that'll be all right.
Extra cushion.
And what's it like? You've got the decent mic as well?
Decent mic,
You're not stretched over your headphones, having to reach across the room?
I'm not having to watch it, hit the wires as well and make sounds on the audio.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good thing.
Everything's good so far.
I've got it good.
Brilliant. Good. Well, we've been away for a while. The last time we recorded was about...
Before
3-4 weeks ago. It was before Christmas. We took a week off as well last week because
New Year's off.
We took quite some time off because we're professionals and we needed to take the time off to refresh ourselves.
We can afford to at this point.
That's right. Yeah. So that's right. Did you have a good Christmas and New Year and all that?
I had a great New Year.
Sorry, you wanted to take a sip of your drink there, and
I quickly do that.
I cut you in a question just as you were taking the sip. I apologise. Very professional. But yeah, good Christmas and New Year.
Yeah, it was very good.
Did Santa bring you everything you wanted?
Yeah, I didn't really want much anymore. You
No?
know, Christmas just gets less magical every time.
That's true. As you get older, you're just happy with money that you can go and spend.
Happy with got gift vouchers. Smellies.
Oh, nice. Did you get socks?
I did. I got 3 pairs of socks.
Yeah, so I got 3 pairs of socks too as well. Yeah,
and 3 for £5.
And even I went to the Mrs.'s my girlfriend's family, and like all the presents had been open and everything, and we were just like, oh wow, lovely. And then someone went, oh wait, no, Sim, we forgot something for you. And I was like, oh wow. And they just passed me some unwrapped socks with like the label kind of half torn off
with the price tag on it.
Yeah, that's it. And was like, oh, we got these for you. And it was like, great. I thought I was going to get away with not having socks, but
then
no,
you have to carry a pair of socks home in your hand.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, and I've got body spray. I never use body spray. I've got like 6 or 7 different varieties.
I've got you get those gift bags with smellies in them with body spray and shower gel and that stuff. Yeah. So I've got 4 bags of those. Sure. And, these will never get used, but
that's it. Yeah, we've got them all lined up in our bedroom, just all along the side.
You could use it like a bag of life, I guess.
Well, that's it. Yeah, they're going to be.
Carry.
Yeah, and I got what else? I got one thing of Lynx. It wasn't in Lynx gift set though, which I was quite pleased with. But I did still get Lynx body wash.
Yeah,
just
separately,
just separately wrapped up on its own and everything. Yeah, that was
my god,
that was a stocking filler from a mum. So thanks, mum.
Yeah, that's a great gift. I mean, you have to remember the Lynx. I didn't get any Lynx.
No,
I got Adidas.
Oh, okay,
got a Star Wars one.
But I got Star Wars wash bag with some
Stormtrooper heads.
Along the front, it's like black leather, faux leather, with white boxes on the front with little, and inside it had 2 little Star Wars themed body wash.
Body washes is what does it smell like to be a stormtrooper?
Yeah, basically,
sweating plasma, I guess.
Sweaty, probably, in those in those suits. There we go. Well, this is starting the new year. Today we're talking about a little bit about Bright, which is the the Netflix Christmas movie. Funnily enough, it was released on the 22nd.
It's not very Christmassy, but
no, not at all. No, there's some. It's an interesting film, isn't it?
I have things to say about that film.
Sure.
I remember watching the trailers before, and I was like, "Oh, this seems like this is a good idea. This is a cool thing to do."
Yeah.
And you fucked it.
Well, yeah, we'll get to that, but we'll also talk a little bit about what we watched over and what we played, because presumably you played some games and stuff over.
Lot.
So did I actually. I was going through what I actually was doing, and I actually did quite a bit over the break. Yeah. I had a week off as well from work, so
you did. When you got back, and I was like, he's not here.
Yeah.
And then I looked at the rotor, and I was like, oh, you fucking fuck.
Off for a week. It was amazing.
I should have done this.
It was a super busy week as well, wasn't it? So
yeah.
Ha. Although I did miss the famous power cut that apparently was.
Yeah, that was pretty fun actually.
The whole
we all
afternoon.
just sort of had to go upstairs because it was too dark and
health and safety reasons.
That was strange, and we just sat there, just sort of. They were like, "Oh well, there's some quality streets here, so feel free to eat those." We were there for about 2 hours, and me and some of the other guys were just playing like games of list how many current countries there are in Europe and stuff like that. And we sat there and we got every single country in Europe.
That famous game, list how many countries there are in Europe.
A stack of post-it notes, a pen, and I named every country in Europe.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, impressive, sir.
Some people interjected, but I would have got there anyway.
Oh, okay.
Let it be known.
Okay, all right. Let it be known, Marto at TGS does know every country in Europe.
Never been to all of them, but I know them.
Okay, sure.
I know Moldova.
That's impressive. Well done, sir.
Yeah.
I doff my hat to you.
I'd rather do that than work, basically.
Of course. Well, yeah, probably. So would I. Although it would get a bit boring after a while, just naming European countries.
Yeah, well, we did that, and then we tried to name all the US states, and then we fell over there a little bit.
Sure. Are there 50 or 51 US states?
I can't remember.
No, it's something like
51 or maybe 50.
Because there's I don't know.
Alaska 50. And Hawaii. I don't know. They
who knows? I'll tell you what. Who could answer the question? David, as he's now in the great state of Texas.
The great state of Texas, San Antonio.
That's right, but he's not here, so we can't. So let's move on. So the first bit of news that I want to talk about is links into one of the episodes we did, and that's about the Last Jedi reaction, because it's been
split
extreme.
Yeah, I don't understand some people's opinions, even though I've listened to them repeatedly.
So I think the general consensus was we when we were talking about it, we thought it was different but good.
Yeah,
I think was and that's not a bad thing.
That was the takeaway.
That's right. Yeah, but currently on Rotten Tomatoes, it has a user rating of 49%.
That's about right. Split it down the middle.
Yeah,
but that suggests more people didn't like it than liked it.
Well, ever so slightly. But that's based on 175,001 reviews.
And one.
Yeah, that's right. It's that one person disliked it. Yeah, but it has a 90% critical rating. I mean, it's been absolutely crazy. People. I mean, I don't think I've met anybody that really liked it. Although the more I think, I've seen it twice now.
Yeah.
And the more I think about it, the more I actually go, I do really like this.
Yeah.
But the hate and the vitriol
it just feels so undeserved.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
I mean, poor Rian Johnson. I mean, but what I don't get is what I'm really struggling to understand is like Disney have given him charge of a new Star Wars trilogy off the back of this film. So, and everyone's like, oh, he wrote and directed it, so it was all his fault and stuff. It's like, no, there is a Lucasfilm story group whose sole purpose is to ensure that these stories are good and written well. And
there is a larger plan to it rather than just
exactly.
Rian Johnson.
And everyone's just like, oh, well, you just shit all over J.J. Abrams' ideas, and it was amazing, and we could have seen this, and this, and now we're never going to see it. And people are just, I
really don't understand how people are being that overly mad about it. I mean, essentially it's boiled down to that whole thing of like, what do you want? Do you want the episode 7 where we do everything again, or do you want this, we're trying to go somewhere else with it?
Exactly.
Because even though they did pretty much do a lot of new things, a lot of those plot points and stuff like that, as we said before, I think at some point, from Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, they're hitting similar beats to that. So it's something that already has been done in Star Wars. It's stuff you have seen. But
there's nothing. But it's good that it's gone off in a different direction.
They can't just keep making the same films again.
Yeah, and the thing that I keep going back to as well is like, for example, everyone's like, oh, we never found out who Snoke was. It's like, are you aware that Palpatine, the word Palpatine, the name Palpatine is not mentioned in the original trilogy at all.
Mm-hmm.
That was all came from expanded universe and stuff, and then obviously like the prequels.
The prequels.
And it's like no one knew who he was. He was just a figure that at the end of it, Darth Vader picked up and threw down the bloody Death Star vent or whatever.
He was there to be the ultimate evil.
And it's so and it's what really astounds me is like I suppose it's the people really think that they deserve to have the film that they want. It's like, it's not your film.
Does Star Wars belong to the people?
Yeah, some people would say yes, and I had a very interesting debate with somebody over far too many drinks actually over Christmas.
I think I know who.
And he was like, no, how dare they? It's Star Wars. They make a film. They should make a film that everybody wants, and it's like, no,
I don't.
It's no. They should make
the Star Wars film how they think the Star Wars film should be made, and if you don't like it. Yeah, that's your opinion.
Exactly.
You choose to be,
Yeah. So I don't know. It's been very, very strange. We've got obviously in 4 months now. It's May. We've got the Han Solo movie,
and we don't really know much about that.
We haven't had a trailer yet. It's for less. I think it's the 5th of May. So it's the entire film has been reshot.
5th of May.
5th of May, yeah.
Why didn't they go to the 4th?
Oh, maybe it is the 4th. I don't know. Hang on.
So.
Now it probably is, isn't it? Now, hang on. Hang on. Han Solo film release date.
Oh
no, it's not. Sorry, it's the 25th of May.
25th.
Yeah. So it's in 5 months' time then, just under.
Yeah.
So
some of the stuff I heard about that film, though, obviously, in terms of it being, did they reshoot some of it?
Yeah, they reshot the entire thing. So they had, but they've taken 9 months to do it. So they've effectively they made the film and then they made a new film. It wasn't
they made a draft.
That's right. It wasn't like the Justice League where he just reshot some stuff and then they tried to fit it into an overall story and had a mess. Like I think because the thing was the original directors they had the script, but they were allowing like loads of improv, so they were going off the script.
Too much.
Which obviously Lucasfilm Story Group were not happy about because they have their own plan for the universe. And this is what it'll... So I don't know. But hopefully...
this isn't Thor Ragnarok.
No, exactly, yeah. So I don't know. We'll see a trailer soon.
Yeah, hopefully.
And we'll see.
That's what worries me is the fact that they had to do that reshoot and then obviously we don't know much about it is... just a little bit concerning.
Well, yeah, and there's lots of rumours to say that the lead guy who plays Han Solo can't act.
Oh, God, fucking hell.
And all sorts of
That's
stuff.
Really a bad rumour.
Isn't it, though? So I don't know. Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah.
Are you a fan of John Wick?
I haven't seen the second one. I saw the first one way back when. I wasn't really that impressed by it.
Really? I need David back. David,
come on.
Where are you? No.
He's probably cursing at me.
I forgot what this was like. You haven't seen any films. No. Oh shit! I've hit my mic. I hope my mic is discussed. Okay. Well, John Wick is if you don't know, it's Keanu Reeves. Basically, plays an assassin. And it's set in an awesome universe where they have awesome gunfights and. Like it sounds really weird, but like he has to reload his gun because he runs out of bullets, and that's thing in the universe. Thing. Yeah, and it's all kind of hyper realistic, but also kind of this hyper action thing. And anyway, they're making a TV show. It's been confirmed. It's in pre-production.
Oh yeah,
and it's called The Continental, which is the Continental. You see more of it in the second film.
Yeah,
but it's basically this chain of hotels where all the assassins of the world can kind of have some respite. There's no like guns or no killings allowed on the grounds of the Continental, which is a plot point of the second film. Won't spoil it for you. Mm-hmm. And yeah, they're moving forward as a TV show. So
is Keanu going to be there?
Well, he hasn't been confirmed, but I'm sure he'll make
I'm sure he'll be in there.
A cameo.
For a bit.
I think he's on as producer, maybe something like that.
Oh, that's cool.
But I'm super excited because I actually really enjoyed both films, John Wick 1 and 2. And they're making a third one as well. I need to see the second one on
the first one again because I think I saw the first one and I really was just like, oh yeah.
The thing is, they're not like, oh my gosh, they're going to blow your mind away.
It's an action film. Yeah. I think that's my problem with it. I was like, oh, this is kind of a bit all over the place, but
it's exactly what you would expect. If I said to you, this is a film where Keanu Reeves is an assassin and there's lots of gunfights. It is exactly what you'd think. Yeah. But that's not a bad thing. It's just,
no, exactly.
It's not going to... it's not going to make you come out of it and go, "Oh my gosh, my mind is blown."
Yeah, I have a different opinion of the human experience.
That's right. Yes.
No.
So yeah, I'm quite excited about that.
That is exciting, though.
Deadpool the release date has been moved. This is actually quite interesting. So Fox have moved around some of the release dates for their next 3 mutant films. So Deadpool, The New Mutants, and Gambit movie, which apparently is still going ahead.
Yeah.
They've lost their 3rd director for Gambit.
Oh, wow.
But filming is set to start in March, so I don't quite know how that's going to work.
You lose 3 directors before even starting shooting.
And Fox also, they need to get the production started or released before the Disney deal happens.
Is that like a date thing that happens?
Well, I mean, obviously we're, us mere mortals aren't privileged to know the...
Us uninitiated.
That's right. But there is a clock on how quickly they have to get these films out before Disney take over, so
do they have to get production underway?
I don't know if it's production or if it's a full release, or because I mean there's certainly
I don't know if Disney took over and something is in production, for them to go, let's just scrap this, they would have lost a lot of money. Would Fox?
Well, they bought like $16 billion worth of Fox's debt. So I mean, they probably at this time one film is probably just chump change to them. So it's like
a couple million.
Yeah, exactly. What's 200 million among friends, really?
Well, how much did they spend to buy it? It was like billion, wasn't it?
52 billion dollars or something. Plus $16 billion worth of debt. So the whole deal's worth like $65 billion.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a ridiculous amount of money.
It's a drop in the ocean for them, though, isn't it? I swear.
Well, that's just like...
They're knocking everything out of the park at the moment, so...
Well, I mean, Last Jedi.
But reception-wise, maybe not so much, but people still see it.
I still don't know how much money that made, actually, I have to say. But anyway, that's... So Deadpool was set to release on June the 1st this year. Deadpool 2, this is. Yep. It's actually now coming out on May the 18th. Ooh. And that's because they don't want it to compete directly with Han Solo, which would make sense because it comes out the week before. So they're like, here, have this R-rated movie before Han Solo.
Yeah.
So that'd be interesting.
When's Avengers out then?
That is out that's May. I think that's May the 5th. I think.
Oh, so go.
Infinity War release date is. Oh no, that's April the 25th.
Okay.
That's even sooner.
So we'll have Black Panther, Avengers, Deadpool, Han Solo.
Basically, it's going to be a good. We're going to be busy on this podcast.
We are going to be.
Yeah. The Gambit movie has been moved from now set for June the 7th, 2019. So it's a while away. I mean, it's a long time away.
2019.
But this is the thing: the New Mutants. Remember, we watched that trailer and we spoke about it. This was the horror one. Yeah. Was originally going to be released on the 13th of April this year. And has now been pushed to February the 22nd next year. Yeah, it's a whole 10 months.
They had a lot of in that trailer. There is a lot of stuff there.
Yeah, so we don't know what's going on with that, but hey,
maybe they're like, hey, let's calm down on this whole X-Men thing for now.
It could be. I mean, 2 X-Men movies, potentially 3 X-Men movies in 1 year or something, which was I don't know, but
because there's that Dark Phoenix, isn't there?
Yes, of course there is, yeah. So maybe that's what they were thinking. But then you would have thought they wanted to compete directly. But then maybe they're not competing directly with Marvel anymore because
they are Marvel.
Exactly. So, who knows? I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Millie Bobby Brown. She's 11 from Stranger Things. Yeah. She has been signed on to star in a series of films based on books, and they're called the Enola Holmes movies. Basically, it's the teenage sister of Sherlock Holmes. They're completely unique young adult books.
Okay.
And she's signed on. But what's interesting is she's acting as a producer as well on these films.
What?
And she's 13 years old.
What?
And she's signed on as a producer and the star of them. I mean, like, talk about... She's going to become, like... the Taylor Swift of movies in like 10 years' time. Can you imagine like how much like that's incredible, isn't it?
Because obviously I understand in a production role or producer role, you can I guess more funding is just executive producing, but
I mean
having a direct impact on the organization of that.
Yeah, and the creative control over it. Yeah. Basically she's making herself a blockbuster franchise. At the tender age of 13.
She is a very good actor.
Incredible so.
It'd be fun to see her with a British accent as well.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Because it was so weird when I watched Beyond Stranger Things, the behind the scenes thing on Netflix, and it's like as soon as she opens her mouth, she's like English, and you're like, what? Hello. What? This isn't right. Yeah. This is crazy. Did you see her on what was it? Jimmy Kimmel or one of those shows where she was rapping?
No.
I'll show you after. Millie Bobby Brown rapping. She's very impressive. Almost as impressive. Have you seen Daniel Radcliffe rapping?
Yeah, I was going to say.
That's really good. When he raps the alphabet. Have you seen that one?
Yeah.
But no, Millie Bobby Brown she's really good. She does a mic drop at the end of it. Everyone goes crazy.
Wow.
It's crazy.
And she's 13.
She's 13, yeah. Yeah, I know.
Jesus.
I know. She's got a very bright future ahead of her.
World ahead of her.
Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about some trailers that we've seen. Yep. So we watched some trailers before we started. So the first one was let's go for Krypton. So Krypton, this is the new sci-fi show starting.
This is pre-Smallville, I guess.
This is it's kind of more Man of Steel. So it's written by David S. Goyer, who wrote the screenplay for Man of Steel: Dark Knight. Has created a whole load of sci-fi. It's probably involved with Lost at some point. You know that he's heavy. He's a heavy hitter in the industry, in the TV industry. And originally he said it was a prequel to Man of Steel. And then he's since backtracked on that a little bit and said, actually, no, it may not be a prequel. But it's got the same visual style as the opening scene to Man of Steel. You know, Krypton is very that technology and, you know...
it's looking pretty dark as well.
And it looks all right. You know, it doesn't look like your average...
I like the idea that it's on Krypton.
Yes.
To my knowledge, that's not anywhere that we've really explored in terms of, you know, film or TV. No.
But it's another prequel series. You know what happens at the end. Krypton blows up.
And Clark Kent is off to Earth.
That's it. And it's got this weird time traveller in it who's wearing like a hoodie and a baseball cap.
Not English, sorry, human looking.
Yeah.
Your grandson's going to be the best guy in the universe.
Here's his cape. And,
wow.
You know, you've got to... Yeah, so it's like... So I don't know. I mean, I'm certainly interested by it, but I'm not, you know, holding my breath for it.
I'm more interested in what it'll do in terms of, you know, providing a bit more lore to sort of the whole Krypton, the Krypton race.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is that when you're talking like the big problem with Smallville was that you just wanted him to be Superman.
Yeah,
you know, and I just feel like this. And it's the same with Gotham as well.
Yeah.
You just want Bruce Wayne. You just want Bruce Wayne to become Batman.
Yeah.
But you can't because he's like 14 or something crazy.
Yeah.
And it's like this. I'm just going to want them to get to the bit where Krypton blows up and Superman goes away. But
that's true.
I don't know.
It depends how interesting of a plot they can draw up in the meantime, I suppose.
Yeah, for sure.
In between then and now.
I mean, as I say, it looks visually quite exciting, and I'm sure we'll talk about it when it comes out.
Yeah, we'll have a look at that.
Whether you'll actually watch it or not, I don't know. Is another story.
It's sci-fi, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
We'll watch it.
Okay, all right, okay. Where there's a short final kind of trailer for Black Panther, which is out on February the 16th.
Getting very close now.
Yeah, super excited. That is 4 weeks away. Blimey. That looks good. I mean, it looked good before.
Yeah, exactly. Still excited for it.
We've got some more music, which the soundtrack for that film
Kendrick Lamar song by the...
Yes.
Sounded like Kendrick
Lamar. And just more... It just looks really good. What are you looking at?
There's a floating bit of fluff here.
Oh.
And I was is that a spider in front of me? No.
No, spiders don't fly, thank fuck.
I know, but you know when they sometimes dangle down.
Oh, yeah. That happened to me earlier. I came out the shower and I was, you know, vulnerable and naked. and I walked through the living room and something hit me and I was like, oh, what's that? And it kind of swung and then came back and hit me again and I realised what it was and I was...
That's when you punched the fuck out of it.
I was, yeah.
So we go Black Panther on it.
Yeah, unfortunately I was not nearly as graceful as that, I have to say. And I may have squealed like a little girl, but that's just me. And
no
spiders.
One else is here.
So, just a slight sidetrack. There's a new game coming out. It's coming out in pre-alpha anyway. It's like this Monster Hunter game. It's like a kind of a Monster Hunter meets Battle Royale game. So you play in teams of 2.
Yeah.
And you're on this huge map and you have to like hunt a big monster and there's zombies on the map and stuff. You have to hunt for clues. But other teams of 2 are also doing the same. So it's kind of like...
trying to hunt the same monster.
That's right. And you know, if you find a clue, they can kill you to get the clue to the monster. Anyway, on this first map, the first creature they're revealing is a giant fucking spider. And I was watching the YouTube video quite happily, like, la da 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 da. And then suddenly there was this big, giant, hairy spider in like full HD 3D in front of me, and Jesus, I
Not a fan of that.
No. And I was really into the game until then, and I was like, I'm never going to play this game now because there's spiders in it.
Well.
Yeah, so
can't avoid it.
Really disappointing. Anyway, and the final trailer that we watched, I'm actually really excited about this. This is for Altered Carbon.
Yeah.
So
Netflix.
This is the new Netflix series. Comes out on February the 2nd. So this has got it's got a budget, this show, reportedly, of $1 to $2 million per episode.
Wow.
Yeah, I think I may have mentioned it in our look forward to 2018. In fact, I'm almost positive I did. I'm pretty sure if I look at my notes here, it will say that I did. But Altered Carbon. There we go. Look. Oh no, sorry. Look, I've written 6 to 8 million an episode.
Wow.
Yeah. So
like Game of Thrones budget.
Basically, yeah, and it's their new. It is Netflix Game of Thrones, basically. That's kind of what they're I think what they're going for sure.
Yeah, it definitely looks interesting. I like the idea that obviously they can transfer their conscious between bodies and keep on living. He's saying, "I want you to investigate my murder."
Yes, yeah. So it's set in the future where human consciousness can be downloaded and kind of uploaded to new bodies, and they've done some really cool teaser things. So they did a Twitter campaign, branded, viral campaign, where you were selling like these good looking human bodies that are just perfect, and they exude like pheromones to attract the opposite sex and everything, and yours for the low price of $10 million or whatever it may be, and CES, which is the Consumer Electronics Show happening in Vegas at the moment. They had a human clone booth there, where like all the actors were acting as though this was actually really happening, and it kind of took people off a bit by surprise. And
that's cool. I suppose they got the money to splash out on all this sort of marketing for it.
All this Netflix money,
Netflix money.
It's where's David with his Netflix money? I tell you,
I don't know.
He's taking
Maybe
it to America.
This is what's happening. He's going to fully spread his wings in terms of the Netflix money.
He's gone to Texas to clone himself or something?
Clone himself.
Is that what he's done?
Transfer bodies.
Yeah, that's right. With all this Netflix money,
he'll come back and it'll just be some other body. Right?
It's like, hi, David. Wait, you're not
David.
Yeah, I do recognise the gold suit though.
Yeah, exactly. That's the giveaway.
So yeah, no, it looks really good. It comes out. It looks a bit action packed, kind of. You said Blade Runner,
very Blade Runner vibes,
a film noir type thing. Stars Joel Kinnaman. The last time I saw him was Suicide Squad, I think.
Yeah, personally, I think so. Yeah,
and so it looks good.
Looks fun.
So
give it a shot.
Yeah, and I'm sure we'll talk about it when it comes out. It will be something that I'll binge for sure. So because it will be definitely binge worthy. So yeah, there we go. That's all the news.
That's the news.
Of course, there we go. Unless you have anything to add, of course.
I don't think so. Actually, no, it pretty much covers it.
There's loads that's happened. A
lot of things have happened.
That's what's happened in the last
Golden
week.
Globes.
Oh, Golden Globes.
All these things happening.
More. We were just talking before we were rolling. More actors being disgraced. And
sexual misconduct.
And the thing is, it's not really. Yeah, it's such a big. Such a big conversation. I don't really want to.
No, I don't feel we need to get into. I think other people have probably done it justice.
Absolutely, yeah. I have thoughts, but I'll. We
shall save them.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. The only thing I'd say is it's becoming. I wake up in the morning and I check my news feed and I see another actor that I really respect.
Yeah.
Being accused of something, and I'm just like.
When I heard the Louis C.K. thing, I was like, oh. God, I thought you were a straight up guy, but no, it keeps happening to different actors, and I think it's at the point now as well where people are going to start trying to accuse of actors of sexual misconduct just because they know that it does carry a bit of weight at the moment.
But I don't know. Anyway, I'm not gonna. I don't.
We'll just dip a toe in there.
We may as well.
We won't go all in.
Let's talk about Trump and politics. And let's not. Jesus, let's not go down that hole. Right. Let's talk about Bright.
Let's talk about Will Smith 2017 Bright, Joel Edgerton.
That's right.
God.
So, on Rotten Tomatoes. Yep. Oh, we should say, I'm saying this straight up at the top. Spoilers.
Spoilers.
Because Martin is in the room.
I am prone.
David is not here to hold him back.
To restrain
him and to put him down if need be. So, spoiler alert.
Yep.
Martin's in the room.
I'm here.
So
just take my voice as a spoiler warning.
That's right. If you hear, that's right. If you hear his voice, just
that's what it is.
Put your head in the sand.
Yeah.
27% on Rotten Tomatoes. It has.
Oh.
Metacritic score of 29 out of 100 because
that seems fair.
Why not? However, reportedly the most streamed show Netflix has ever had.
What?
Yep. And in the opening week, viewed by 11 million viewers.
That's what Will Smith will do, though.
Yeah. 87% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes.
87%.
Yeah. So it's...
Who are these people?
Well, this is 16,488 people that decided to give it an average rating of 4.3 out of 5. On Rotten Tomatoes. So it's almost the exact opposite of The Last Jedi.
I was going to say, the people who have been up-rating this are the people who have been down-rating The Last Jedi.
Yeah. So what's the story all about, Martin?
Okay,
tell us the plot. Yeah, I mean, not the whole plot, but,
Not the entire thing.
No, we haven't got time.
So yeah, it's like an alternate universe, sort of LA, where there's orcs, there's humans, there's elves, fantasy creatures live in the real world, but it's like gritty realism.
Yeah, saw some centaurs as well.
I saw a centaur, and I was like, "Is that a centaur?"
Yeah,
totally a centaur. Yeah. And there's dwarves mentioned as well. There's all these different, but they really focus on this one.
They mention 7 races, don't they?
Yeah, or the 9 armies.
Oh, nine races, 9 armies. Yeah. Gosh, what's that going to be? Jesus.
Who knows?
Gnomes probably as well. Who knows?
Gnomes.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway,
yeah.
I interrupted you. I apologise. Sorry. Please continue.
So, we got Ward. I don't know, is Corporal Ward is Will Smith?
I want to say
Daryl.
Daryl Ward, that's it, yes, because he shouts it, doesn't he, when he's running back into the building at the end.
Daryl, it changes from Ward to Daryl.
Yeah,
you know how much he cares about him when that changes.
That's right, yeah. If the surname doesn't work, try the first name. Yeah, that's right, yeah.
So he's like a struggling cop who gets paired up with this orcish police officer who... pro tip, people don't like orcs, and they don't like orcs in the police force, but because of PC, he's in the police force.
Yeah, the people in this universe don't like the orcs because 2,000 years ago, the orcs sided with the Dark Lord.
When in reality, Nazi Germany was about 70 years ago, and we've forgiven them.
We've got no problem with Germans
Christ,
at all.
Get on with it.
It's like, let's just hate an entire race of people for something that happened 2,000 years ago.
It's like they've taken the racism dial on this universe and it's just cranked up to
absolutely.
17,000.
Yeah.
But he's paired up with this guy, and then
Jacoby is his name.
Jacoby.
Yeah.
What's his Nick the Orc.
Yeah, basically.
Hi, I'm Nick. I think there was another an orc is called Freddy. It's like Freddy the Orc. And
it's like it's time for my son Freddy or whatever it was.
This is a guy who saved me. Oh God.
So it's a cop movie.
This is the thing. I got to the end of the film before I really I took a turn on it a little bit because I was like, at the end it's like the cop film, the buddy cop film with the stupid punchy dialogue. The in this universe that is just about action. But I think my problem was that it set up this whole fantasy universe like it had something interesting to say, but it doesn't really. It doesn't really.
No,
it was just a cop film.
Yeah, that's it, and that's the thing. It was so forgettable. Because when we decided that we were going to talk about this today, I watched it. I watched it on the day it came out, maybe the day after. I can't remember. Maybe Christmas Eve, even. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, I watched it when it first came out, and I remember watching it. And the film is 2 hours long. I mean, it's a long film.
Oh God, there was so many points where I checked the timeline and I was like, oh, that only 4 minutes have passed.
Yeah, that's it.
Jeez.
And I was trying to think. I was sitting here this morning, typing up the notes for the show, and I was like, I don't remember what happened in this film, so I had to rewatch it because. While it's a very action, and I'm watching it again, it's non-stop action pretty much all the time.
Yeah.
It's really forgettable.
It's just basically this here's a plot point, we go from A to B with the plot point of the magic wand, and this happens and this happens and these other people happen, but they are
and every time we go to a new location, there'll be a gunfight. There'll be a gunfight. There'll be an explosion. Of which
there'll be a slow motion action scene, whether it be a car crashing, or Will Smith shooting his gun.
Yeah. And also and we should say as well, this is Will Smith. Will Smithing it about.
Will Smith. He swears a lot more. This movie is a lot more sweary, but it's good fun to hear him in doing that.
I have not seen him doing a Will Suicide Squad was Will Smith, but not quite.
Slightly not.
But this is Will Smith dialed up to 11.
Yeah,
this is
like
Independence Day,
3.
Bad Boys. He is. Yeah, just let's forget the last 5-10 years of Oscar searching films. And just go back to.
And he's like, there's a big old paycheck over here for something. Look,
and he's quippy as well. He's like, there's a line. He's like in the car where Joel Edgerton goes like, we're in a prophecy. He's like, we're not in a prophecy. We're in a Toyota Corolla.
Yeah,
you see this face. This is a bad night face, and it's just
not
like
a prophecy face.
Yeah, that's it. And it's just it's quippy.
Exactly,
and it's quite funny. There were a couple of moments where I did laugh out loud.
I do. Yeah. The Toyota Corolla quip was good.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
between the two of them, they've got a nice, a reasonably good chemistry between them. But I think their characters overall are just like so kind of almost one-dimensional and flat.
Yeah.
Motivation-wise, there's not really much there that I entirely care about.
Yeah, for sure.
But their relationship, I kind of bought into it.
Yeah, it's the buddy film works quite well. They start off not liking each other, and they don't like each other because Joel Edgerton basically allowed an orc that shot Will Smith to get away.
Yeah,
that's kind of like. But we discover later on that actually he never caught the guy. And the
he missed him.
Yeah, and the orc that he released was a kid, and he didn't want him to get shot because that's what happens in the orcs get shot, which is very kind of on the nose about like
racial tensions and what the police does.
Yeah, exactly. And it was just a bit kind of okay. But they end up being friends at the end.
Yeah,
they end
they're
up
like, I still hate you. I still hate you.
Yeah,
and it's like very, hey, punch you in the arm.
That's right.
Buddy cop.
Yeah, I'm not your friend, but
But we're friends, I guess.
That's right. Yeah, and it tells a story of them trying to get a magic wand, isn't it? Really, it's all about the magic wand.
It's all about the magic wand, building up to the Dark Lord, who never shows.
No, but. It has. They have commissioned a sequel.
Of course they have.
So they're quick to say that they have. It's going to be written by the director of this one, David Ayer.
Why not?
So
why not? Just do the same again. It's
so
fine.
Yeah.
If 11 million people watched it, then just do the same again. It's fine, except have more explosions. And I really wanted this to be like really realistic and gritty, and not that whole thing where they have the fate of the world in their hands and they are getting away from this and this and this, but it turned into that, and I was like,
you want it more like Cops.
I want a detective film.
Yeah,
that's what I wanted.
Just two beat cops doing the rounds,
getting by,
rather than and of course the big reveal at the end, and it's so. It's signposted all the way through the film.
Oh yeah,
is that
the fucking I hated the first thing that comes up on screen. I was like, this is going to be a bad film because it's like. Only the prophecy of who must touch a magic wand, and it's got this fucking stupid ass fake quote, and I was like, this is already not looking good.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and basically, so Bright, the titular of the film is excuse me is a magic user. Bright is a magic user,
someone who can touch a magic wand without blowing up.
And mostly it's all elves, which is why they rule the world apparently. Because we should say this: they're the ruling elite. The 1% are the elves. Complete with their own elf town in the middle of LA.
Elf town. They're all rich,
and they're all rich, and they've all got like there's like even like the barriers on the road is like solid gold.
Yeah,
it's like okay.
And they've got their own language, and they're all very breathy and very passionate when they talk, and they like to get like right up in your face when they talk.
They're very
but strange.
And there are 1 in a million Brights in for the humans. And of course, Will
Smith's a Bright.
I mean,
I'm a motherfucking Bright. That's pretty much what he could have said at that point. And he's like, I'm just gonna go for it.
He basically didn't say it, but the Jacoby character did, didn't he? Because he's like he picked up the wand, and he's like, Ward. You're a Bright,
and he's like, "No shit, motherfucker! Like, are you kidding me? Yeah, I've not exploded. I've been literally with you this entire time."
And it's probably the best bit I think for the whole film for me is that very last bit, because he picks it up and he goes, Jacoby goes, "You're a Bright," and he's like, "Yeah," and then like the look on the elf woman's face is like, put that down. Put that down. And then like the other elf that they've been protecting kind of goes, the war word is Valkyrus or whatever it is. And then he just screams it, and then like the elf just vaporizes. And I was like, that's kind of cool. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
I was just thinking at that point though, like she's like, say the word, and he's like, what word? And he has like a whole misunderstanding on how to pronounce it, and an awkward go between.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, I've just heard the word for the first time, and I can't pronounce it right. I can't
say it.
And the only reason I know how to say it is because I'm watching it with subtitles.
Exactly.
And I can see it.
There's a lot of moments in that film, though, where it was Joel Edgerton's character just stating the fucking obvious.
Yeah. And to be fair, I quite liked him as a character. He had some awesome moments. He was kind of slow, to be fair. There was a cool bit, like, where they turn up at this place and they start a shootout, and they duck behind a car, and Will Smith's like, hey, you all right? You got any holes? And he's like, no.
Only the ones I'm born with.
That's right, yeah. How are your holes? And then Will Smith's like, how did you make a gunfight awkward?
That was probably one of the best bits of the film.
And then the bit at the very, very end as well, like when they're in the hospital, and he's like, Will Smith's like, don't say anything. And the feds are just staring at him. And then he just goes, we saw this, and it was a wand, and we did this.
Wait for them to ask the questions.
Yeah, that's right. He just keeps going like... So it had some nice moments in it, but it just...
That's why, to me, overall, it's just like a cop film.
Yeah.
It's like a buddy cop film, but the type that belongs in the 80s because you understand it's cheesy, where this is like so well produced and so much behind it that you're like, oh.
It really did, yeah, you're right. It felt like a kind of a mid-90s or early 2000s kind of just straight up action film. Not
much to it, but
with a big star attached.
Yeah.
Or I suppose two big stars, I suppose, really. Like Joel Edgerton's getting there, isn't he?
Getting there, yeah.
But it just didn't really rise above
mediocrity.
That's right, it didn't, did it? It was just...
I spent the entire time pretty much hating it as well, and just being like, what? This is just... Especially one moment stood out for me, just how nonsensical some of the action was. Like, they're in that club with all the orcs, and what's the elf? Tika.
Oh, right,
Tika Masala. She was in a bloody window, and they're like, get down here, Tika. And instead of just, getting down from the window, she does a front flip onto the floor. Yeah. And I was like, why did you choose to flip?
Yeah.
It's just fucking pointless.
And there's lots of moments like that. There's like every time someone jumps on somebody and they get thrown off, they don't just get thrown off, they get thrown off and then they spin in the air. And it's like, look at all the wire work we're doing.
Exactly, yeah. It felt like a lot of the action is, particularly with the elves, they were really trying to make a point that the elves move so elegantly and so fluidly.
Yeah.
And she also, there's another bit, she throws a bottle of bleach at someone's head. I was just like,
yeah,
what the fuck?
Yeah.
Just what? A lot of it didn't make sense, but I think I was thinking too hard about those bits, but I just couldn't forgive the flip. It was too much.
And there's some corrupt cops who are like, so they got the wand and they say to Will Smith, it's like, you got to kill the orc and then we're gonna take away and we're gonna sell the wand and we're gonna be millionaires. And then Will Smith goes out to confront Jacoby, basically to shoot him, because they're saying, if you don't shoot him, we're going to kill both of you.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he leaves, they're like, so we're going to kill both of them, yeah?
Yeah.
It's like, the line is, what's going to go down, Sarge? And he's like, 2 cops are going to die tonight.
2 cops are going to die tonight.
And it's like, what? Really? Yeah. And then that leads into, I think, the first slow-mo bit where Will Smith just turns around.
He's like, in what order, who is where?
Yeah.
And then he just turns around, regardless of who is in what position, he just starts rattling off.
He didn't need to know that.
Jesus, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of those fucking moments as well where, like, you've emptied your clip, Will Smith, but you're going to keep on shooting. Yeah. But in other parts, you're going, oh, I really need to reload right now because it's convenient for the plot.
But what was really interesting is, so David Ayer, I'm pretty sure he was the one that he did Suicide Squad as well. I think he did, yeah. So there's a bit, I don't know if you remember, where in that where Deadshot is shooting, Will Smith is shooting in slow motion, and it's almost exactly the same shot. It's a kind of a slow pan from like a profile shot round his face in slow-mo with like bullets flying out. And it's exactly the same shot.
Is he trying to build himself a new typecast?
Well,
slow-mo shooting Will Smith. This is the period of his career. It's slow-mo shooting Will Smith. He looks really old in this as well. Don't you notice? You can tell he's like getting on a bit, and it's quite good to see.
But it's like there's bits like it's like where he at the beginning where he's at home and the whole fairy scene.
Yeah.
And it's like it just reminded me of like Independence Day,
yeah.
where he's like woken up and he's quipping and he's doing this, he's doing that, and he's like the gangsters are in the lawn next to him, and he's like, you just carry on with your gangster shit. I'm trying to sell my house.
Else. Yeah.
It's like and he's trying to kill the fairy, and he's just being an idiot about it. Yeah. Like it's got so much, as you say, it's got so much that you really want to like about the film, and the mythology is actually really quite good.
They built 2 languages, as far as I can see. Orcish and Elvish were in that film, and it's like you clearly put a lot of effort into this. And I like some of the set design stuff as well. You got like the road signs that say Elvish Town, Orcish Town, and this shit.
And all the graffiti. Yeah, the graffiti was awesome.
Some of the stuff, like they're in the convenience store or the petrol store toilets, and there's like all the graffiti behind them. It's like orcs are fucking shit and stuff like this. And it's like it's lovely touches to the set.
Really nice world
stuff.
Building.
Yeah.
But and the fact that you've got this untold story of what happened 2,000 years ago with the 9 races combining to defeat the Dark Lord and all of this, and you kind of want more of that, and it's not.
I just want And there was good little bits. I mean, obviously, when Jacoby tells the story of the unblooded orc, brings all the 9 armies together. That's cool stuff. I want to know about that. I go into that a little bit more.
Yeah,
this all sounds pretty good, but.
It's just never really
what that is wrapped up in, what the film actually is. But it doesn't deserve that lore.
But you see, this is the thing. It's so take the interrogation scene with the 2 feds. So you've got the human fed and the elf fed. Who actually I thought the elf fed he just looked really awesome, like with his sharp suits and stuff. And they're interrogating the Shield of Light guy, and he's saying that the Dark Lord's coming back, and that like you're gonna have to protect him. And do you remember what happened 2,000 years ago? And this, and you're like, oh, this is really interesting. And then the big fat human guy walks up to him and goes, tell me what I want to know. Look, do you see what this says on my badge? That's right, the Magic Feds. And you're like, you've just completely
I just told you everything.
But it's just like having a guy in a suit go, I'm a Magic Fed. And it literally on his identification badge it says the Magic Federal Agency, and you're like,
what the fuck? Some of the language they chose to use is just cheesy as fuck. The Magic Fed, the Magic Wand, that was fucking stupid.
It was weird, wasn't it?
A lot of it did just sound like they took it, but they were just really fucking cheesy with it.
Yeah,
really cheesy.
It's like I like the idea that magic wands are like this weapon of mass destruction. I like that idea. But you're right, every time they refer to it as a magic wand.
Where's the magic wand? It's like, this is out of a fucking Hans Christian Andersen fucking fairy tale.
It's like in Harry Potter, they just go wand. And that's fine.
It's fine.
Absolutely acceptable. Right. But you wouldn't, can you imagine?
It's a magic
It's a magic wand. Oh, right, as opposed to a normal wand.
Jesus
is this
Christ,
what we're, like,
At the end of that scene as well, they just showcase some of the really bad writing when he's like, if you don't want to be an enemy of mine, don't pretend to be an enemy of mine, because if you act like an enemy of mine, then you are an enemy of mine. And I was like, what the who wrote this?
Exactly.
Whose fucking son is an intern on this fucking film?
And what's so weird about that is the guy's said everything. He's pretty much told them what the hell is going on.
Yeah.
And then he's like, okay, I'm done now. I'm not telling you anything else because I've told you everything. And the elf just squares up to him and says, don't be an enemy of mine because you won't want to know whatever it is he says. An enemy of mine gets
and
then it just cuts to the next scene, and you're like, what? Where
does that leave that? Where does that leave that situation now? He goes, I don't know anything else. They go, I think you are an enemy of mine now.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, I've just told you everything that I know. It's really, really strange. And there's like the bit at the end where he gets blooded because he saved a human. Because this is what I rewatched it again because I was watching it again and I was like, I know what happens at the end. These orcs blood him and he becomes a clan or clan member or whatever it is. But they don't know what happens inside that building. So all they see is him running out of a burning building and then running back into the building and carrying Will Smith out, who 2 scenes ago they were trying to kill.
Were just both, oh my God, yeah.
And then they blood him. For what? for saving Will Smith, the cop that they wanted to kill.
Exactly.
It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. And they're like, talking about a prophecy, and it's like, what prophecy? The events of this film are not prophecy worthy. What? So they almost brought back the Dark Lord and they stopped that. Is that a prophecy?
Yeah,
is that worthy of that?
2,000 years ago, someone prophesied that an orc and a human cop would...
They prophesied that Will Smith would get shot with a shotgun whilst his partner was getting a burrito.
Yeah.
That was the prophecy. The prophecy is there's a human... Bright, I don't know.
Well, this is it. We just.
There is obviously going to be more of a prophecy in the next film, but why are they still?
Yeah.
Why are they talking about it like it's such a thing now? And that fucking scene where they cut their hands and they're looking at.
Yeah, he literally cuts it. Holds it up.
It's just like 5 of these lads just turned up.
Yeah,
it's like there's the burning building down the street. He's probably down there anyway. Yeah, let's go and cut our hands and.
That's right. Yeah. He's just carried the cop out of the buildings and let's blood him. Yeah.
Not even bring down the whole crew that were just in the last scene. Let's just bring a couple of the boys. As many fit as fit in the car. All right.
It just doesn't
fucking.
Yeah.
So much of it is nonsensical.
Yes.
That it really just steamrolls any positives that you can take away from it.
Yeah.
It feels like that fucking is there a Hansel and Gretel film where it's like witch hunters?
With yes.
And they've got like shotgun. I think it's Jeremy Renner and some.
It is Jeremy Renner. You're right.
And you're right. Just like,
is it called Hansel and Gretel? 2007 film.
Yeah. It feels a lot like that film.
Oh no,
it's cheesy as fuck. It's got some decent action scenes, but overall it's just a bit of a shithole.
God, it wasn't. Was it called Hansel and Gretel?
Hansel and Gretel, or fucking some fairy tale duo or something. Jeremy Renner.
Yeah, no, you're right. I'm doing a search for Hansel and Gretel film, but I don't think it's.
It is Hansel and Gretel, isn't it?
Is it called? Either my internet's gone or Wikipedia's gone down. But anyway,
Wikipedia finally ran out of money.
Yeah, it's going to happen. They keep warning me it's going to happen, and I keep
ignoring that donation page at the top. I just want to know when Hitler was born. Can't you just give me that?
Jeremy Renner. Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, it's called Witch Hunters. Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters.
Yeah.
Wow, that's got 14% on Rotten Tomatoes.
So this film is better than that film.
Yeah.
Bright is better than that film. But tonally, feels the same. Feels exactly the same. Who's the woman in it?
Hang on. Let me actually go to the page.
I feel like it was. Why do I feel like it was Felicity Jones or whatever her name
is? Starring Jeremy Renner, Gemma Atherton. There you go. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I don't even know who she is. Wow. Who is she, David? Thank you for that input. That was wow. Yeah, I
didn't realise that.
Yeah, gosh, I haven't seen that film actually. That's insightful. We should really watch that. Anyway, so yeah, general consensus on Bright. I mean, would you recommend people watch it?
I don't know. If you want to, see, the thing is, if I'm going, hey, you want to watch just a cheesy action cop movie, go and watch Lethal Weapon. Go and watch Die Hard. Go watch
the Bad Boy films.
Go and watch Bad Boys. That's great. That's perfect. Amazing. But you don't really.
If you want to see a weird cross between Lord of the Rings, Suicide Squad, Bad Boys, then go
and Hansel
and Gretel, then go watch this film, because
if you want to see what Will Smith is up to these days, by all means, this is the film for it. But
and as I say, we did say this, but this film is 118 minutes long.
It's too long for what it is.
It's a long
2 hours of just like shootouts. It's just like, what? I don't need this.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's any rumours as to how much Will Smith got paid for, but I can't see anything.
Millions.
So I mean, it's got to be, hasn't it? Really?
At least.
I mean, $90 million budget. At least you got to think like 10 billion of that is. But as I say, Netflix have where's the sequel section on here? They have apparently in December 2017, Netflix ordered a sequel. They confirmed that they were moving ahead with the sequel starring Smith and Egerton, and they're reprising their roles. And Ayer is going to direct and write. So, yeah.
What about Tika though? What about Jal Frazee?
What about her? Jal Frazee's her evil sister.
My mother Booner.
That's right. Yeah, they're too hot to handle. Jesus. Right. Okay. So yeah, it's something that it's the thing is, like, I know that Netflix are trying to do their own thing.
I really respect them for trying to do something a bit different and, taking on something that was an exciting idea.
And this is definitely better than... Have you seen the, what is it, the Fabulous Five or the Magnificent... What's that? The Adam Sandler one. Have you seen that? No. Neither. I've seen the trailer and I went, nope, not watching that.
Exactly.
And this is much better than that. And with things like Altered Carbon coming out and things like Stranger Things and stuff, that's great. And I love the fact that they're putting money into making original content. Yeah. That's great. Yeah. But
this one is just a miss.
It just fell down just a little bit, didn't it? Yeah. So
I'll probably watch the second one, to be honest, because I'm just interested to see how they develop this.
Sure.
But I wouldn't necessarily recommend anyone who wants to watch a good film to watch this.
Okay. So out of the 9 races...
Out of the 9 races,
what would you rate this out of 9?
I'll give it 2 out of 9 races.
Oh, 2 out.
I want to say maybe. I'll give it a 3 out of 10. I'll translate that to 2 out of 9.
I would go 4 out of 9 because it's not quite 50. It's an enjoyable. It's
below par.
It's a good hangover movie. You know,
I guess
you're hungover, you're chilling out. Maybe you've got something on the second screen. Maybe you're checking Facebook or whatever, and you're just munching. Put it on.
Put it on for 2 hours.
That's right. Yeah, afterwards you will feel much better,
reinvigorated.
Yeah. So there we go. That was Bright.
It was Bright.
So yeah. Let's move on. Let's talk about what we were doing.
What we've been doing in the meantime.
In the space between the last episodes and now. So
I'll tell you something good I have been catching on Netflix. Just catching a little spot.
Okay, yeah, go on.
Is comedians in cars getting coffee with Jerry Seinfeld.
So I've watched the Alec Baldwin one.
That one's really good.
I started to watch the Jim Carrey one.
Yeah.
And I was watching it with the girlfriend, and she wasn't all that interested because she doesn't really know who the celebrities are. And I was like, I'm going to watch this on my own.
It's very American humor.
It is, but
I fucking love it. Yeah.
Because I've got something. It's a weird thing. I like watching celebrity interviews where they're just being themselves.
In a casual setting, yeah.
So they're not on a promotional tour, and they're not kind of telling these stock stories that you hear over and over again. Mm-hmm. And they're all kind of, as you say, they're almost performing. You know, when you watch like something like the Graham Norton show, they're there to sell whatever they're doing, and they're performing. Whereas this is just them in a car drinking coffee. This
is what this person is like.
Yeah,
as a person. I like the interaction they have. I think Jerry's really great at sort of bringing that out in them and just having a casual conversation.
Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, it's interesting you say that about them being themselves and not performing, because you do realise, if you haven't seen the Jim Carrey one yet, that man just, whenever a camera is around, he just performs just because that is who he is. And I mean, between that and the Andy Kaufman thing I watched as well, you just realise how much Jim Carrey just loves to play up to that stuff because he's just naturally an entertainer as a person. But a lot of the other ones, like the Jimmy Kimmel one, he is so different to how he is in like his show. Or is it Jimmy? No, it's Jimmy Kimmel.
I haven't seen it. I have to say, I haven't seen that bit yet, and I need to watch it. I mean, there's loads of them. There's like
so
two
many.
Series of
That's
it
why it's like one of those I can just stick on like when it's last thing. I don't have to pay too much attention to it.
And it kind of came completely out of nowhere. I
just saw it there and I was like,
is it a Netflix only thing?
I don't think so, because it's got plenty of episodes behind it already. So I'm assuming it's something that's already
been out for a while. I'm just trying to find it on my Netflix list. It's disappeared. Netflix has hidden it away from me. So yeah, no, that's quite good. I watched, and well, actually, this is next week's episode, actually.
Yes.
But I watched Peaky Blinders. Me and the girlfriend, we watched. I think it's like a total of 18 or 20 hours.
So I think it's 6 episodes a season, isn't it?
Yeah. So and there's 4 seasons. So 24 hours of TV that we watched in like the space of like 3 days.
Really?
Because I got hooked. But we'll.
I watched the majority of season 2 over New Year's Day, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it too much because it's Netflix. It's Netweek.
Next week.
I can't talk. It's next week's subject, but it's really good.
It's very. That's what I will say. It's very good.
And I can't believe that it's been on for 4 years now,
and I haven't looked at it.
I've never seen it.
I remember hearing the title and being like, that sounds like a ridiculous show.
Yeah, and then
you're like, oh.
And then I heard that like it was Cillian Murphy and Bane,
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy, thank you. I heard that, and I was like, oh, okay, I might be interested in that. But then I heard it was about 1920s gangsters, and I was like, yeah.
Well, but I heard the part that kind of intrigued me is because they don't often go for this sort of setting, but in Birmingham.
Yes. Yeah, well, I thought it was in London to start with.
Yeah.
And then I didn't realise it was, And then the iPlayer, they bought out, they're 3 seasons on Netflix, and the iPlayer's got the latest season, so we just binged it.
Get through
Autoplay, yeah, it's good. But we'll talk about it more next week.
Yeah, definitely.
You been playing any games?
I've been playing a bit. Playing more Persona.
Yeah.
Getting back into that. I bought Nier the other day because...
was Nier
Automata. Very good from the first hour. I've played a bit.
So apparently, after because you can play that game through 3 times.
Yeah.
And apparently, when you're going through the second and the third playthroughs,
it's completely different.
It's going to completely mess with your mind.
Yeah.
It's going to do
thematically, it's like, all about automation and robots and, what makes something sentient and questions like this. But the way it presents that in the game world is very fucking good. And the way it plays around with the genres you play, the genres you're playing is
because it does it because it cuts from like a third-person action to a platformer to this to that.
It goes the first sort of hour I've played of it, it goes from a bullet hell game, like this typical Japanese like shooters, to a 2-stick shooter.
Yeah,
where you're choosing where to shoot, and then into a just a hack and slash. But then obviously there is an element of the hack and slash that is still like the bullet hell sort of thing.
And there's big bosses as well to fight, and and apparently as well the story, as I say, after the first playthrough starts. One of the podcasts that I heard that they were reviewing it said they've done something that they've never seen before in games.
Yeah,
which I would play it just for that alone.
Yeah,
but it's just not my type of game. That's the only problem. It's
I don't know. It is very Japanese. I will say that. I mean, for people who. I know people who generally stay away because things are a bit too weird, but I go fully in on that stuff and absolutely love it. But I've heard enough about it, and I've been one of the podcasts I've been listening to. They do some sort of end of year awards and just hearing the stuff, and I was like, I really wanted to play this anyway, but now this has intrigued me.
Which podcast is that? Just out of curiosity.
The Giant Bombcast.
Oh, okay. No, that's fine. It's fine because I thought it may have been one that I was listening to as well. And no, that's right.
It is worth listening to if you can, because I listen to it every single week.
Okay, sure.
Great guys.
Well, I played, or I started playing. I bought the Batman Telltale games.
Oh yeah.
They were on sale in one of the many winter sales, and they're still going on. There's hundreds of them for PC at the moment. And I played through. I've just actually last night. I was up until like 2 a.m. playing it. Finished the first 5 episodes, the first season.
Yeah.
And there's 3 episodes of the new season. And have you played many Telltale games?
I played a small bit of The Walking Dead and I think the first episode of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, they're for those of you who don't know, they're kind of like point and click adventures. It's more like choose your own adventure. You get to pick your responses. It's kind of like an RPG almost.
Yeah, but without. It's stripped a lot of the gameplay stuff back. Yeah, it reads more like
and the gameplay is quick time events, really.
Yeah.
But it's what I like the picking what you say element of it.
Yeah.
And to some extent, your choices matter, although there's a debate as to how much they actually matter in those games, because they always end at the end. But the first season of Batman was awesome.
Yeah.
Because you got to play as Batman. Like, I really like the Arkham series, obviously, because that's like the ultimate Batman simulator. You are Batman in a playground with all the Batman's gadgets.
You're Batmaning.
But you don't get to pick what you say and how you act, whereas in this, you get to do it as both Bruce Wayne and as Batman. And it was just awesome.
That is a very to be a Batman full story, it does need to have that Bruce Wayne,
exactly.
Which hasn't appeared before.
No, that's it. And the story was really good as well. Like, just as good as any other Batman film or story before. So, no, really, really good. Definitely recommend a play. And I'm looking forward, itching to get into the second season. So, yeah.
That's good.
Looking forward to that.
Something else I played, I do need to bring this. I played it yesterday. It's something that I looked at a lot. There was a lot of people were talking about on the internet for like a short period of time. It's I'm not sure if you're familiar with the like Japanese visual novels.
I'm aware of them. Yes.
Yeah, like dating sim types.
Yes.
There's one that's produced called Doki Doki Literature Club.
No, don't know it.
Basically, this is taking that formula of this dating sim
Right.
club. Yeah, this like it's Western produced, but it's in very Japanese style. You got to choose to date one of these 4 girls in this club, and it presents itself as spoilers for this game. I mean, if you're not going to play it, it's free on Steam.
I'm certainly not going to.
Go, oh mate, it blew my fucking mind. It presents itself as this, but eventually it just takes a turn for the darkest turn.
Right.
Characters start dying, and it comes. Oh god, I'm spoiling the shit out of it.
Is this the one that's set in a school?
Yeah.
Where so basically because I've heard about this, so this is spoilers. But is this the one where they lock the school down, and the only way that you can escape the school is by killing somebody?
No, that's Danganronpa, I think.
Oh, okay, right. Because there was that one I heard about podcast, and that was another visual novel.
There's some really good variants on that sort of style, but this one particularly, what it does is essentially it's there's a lot of these games where it's just a dating sim, very shallow.
Yeah, sure.
The only reason for these characters to exist is for you to romance them. So this kind of game understands that one of the characters becomes sentient within the game and starts to manipulate the other characters,
right?
And eventually deletes the other deletes and glitches. They basically, after the first run through, you date the childhood friend character,
right?
She, the manipulative girl, essentially hacks the files of the games, inverted commas, to make the girl really depressed. She kills herself, and then you do a rerun, and the girl is deleted from the game. So you start the game, it starts to go through the start where you talk to the childhood friend again, but she's deleted from the game, so it glitches out. It continues like this, where this one character manipulates the other girls, makes them fucking stab themselves on all this shit, and then essentially this character, the sentient one, breaks down the fourth wall and is like, you know who I'm talking to? I'm not talking to the avatar, this guy. I'm talking to you. You're playing this on Steam, right? Like, holy shit. And it was fucking terrifying.
Sure, yeah.
It was one of the best things I've played all year, though. I mean, it's a visual novel. It's taken that formula. You play it the first playthrough, it gets to the end of that, and you're like, what the fuck is happening? I'd heard enough about it. It's best to not spoil it, but if you're not going to play it, I did need just to get that out there. Because you can play it in about 4 hours as well, and it's...
That sounds insane.
Absolutely
phenomenal. Right.
And a lot of people have hacked behind the scenes in some of the code, and it's pointing towards the next game that this studio is making. I don't think it's going to be in that style, but it's certainly going to be a horror game with links to this game, because the implication is these characters in this game
escape the game.
Well, they've been imported from another game,
right?
And that's the reason why one of them becomes sentient, because the files. Okay. Oh, it's. I spent too long looking at this. It
sounds just as convoluted as any other anime or manga that I've either read or seen.
It's wild. I was sat there literally shitting my pants. I haven't played a horror game in a while, and usually I just I'm going to put this down. But this, I was like, I need to know what happens.
Sure.
I need to know how this ends, and it was a fucking roller coaster, and it's fully worth it. But apart from that, not really played much.
Did you watch the new Black Mirror?
No, I haven't kept up with it, so...
You should watch it. It's good.
They're all standalone.
Yeah, absolutely. You can just watch any episode you like the look of.
Yeah.
Very, very good series. I finished work early on the day before Christmas Eve. The day...
The 2 hours.
No, that wasn't me, actually. I finished the day before I went on my week on holiday, so it was after Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
I came home, and I was home by about 3:30 or something, and we just sat and we watched 6.5, 7 hours of Black Mirror back to back, and I tell you, fucking hell, I wanted to kill myself after
Exactly.
it. They are depressing, but fucking good as well.
Yeah.
This is probably one of the best seasons they've done. The stories are just, the budget is incredible. They're dark. They're really, really good.
That's why I can't hack binging that show, because
I'm not going to next year, if there is another series. I presume there is going to be. I am not going to binge them, because I after about the third episode I was like, okay,
this is a bit,
and that's the thing, there is not there was one happy episode in it, and that's the only, and because that was episode 4 or something, that's the only reason I was able to then continue and watch the rest of it. Otherwise, I probably would have thrown myself out the window. Probably
tactically put that one in there.
Yeah, I think that's why it was. I honestly think it was.
I liked. I mean, I've watched most of the. I think I watched the whole of the first series, and I liked watching them sort of one by one, because having the time afterwards to sort of like really think and reflect on it and digest the themes of it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like when they were on Channel 4 and they were being done weekly back in the day, then but now you're just like, you watch one, you're like, oh my gosh, mind blown. God, do you remember that was so incredible? And then the next one started on autoplay and you're like, oh, okay, let's watch the next one now. It's just, So it's just this onslaught, constant onslaught. But what was really good about it, and I won't spoil anything about the actual plot for you, but the last episode was called Black Museum, and it basically says that 8 out of the 13 episodes they've made, or whatever it is, all happen in the same universe. And it's really subtle how they do it.
Yeah.
But you're like, oh, okay, I see what you've done here. And they've been creating a universe.
That's good.
Which is just awesome.
It's literally the darkest universe possible, of course.
And well, that's it. But it's the possibility now that they've said all of this happens in the same universe. The possibility of where they can go.
Yeah,
just
that'd be very interesting.
Is really
to see how
exciting.
They can link it all up.
So yeah, there we go. And I also ate a lot of food over the holiday.
Yeah, ate a lot of
drank,
chocolate,
played some games, watched some TV, and that was it really. So yeah, there we go. So that's it. I think that's our show. That's
how long have we been going?
About an hour and 10, something like that. So unless you have anything else that you wish to add to inform the audience and the viewers.
What else have I watched?
I'll tell you what we should do. We should say hello to David. Hi, David.
Hi, David.
We didn't actually say hi to David, but he's probably listening to it. This is our first podcast, obviously, without David, and it's been all right, I think.
Yeah.
It's been okay. We can handle ourselves without him.
Yeah, we're big boys. We're big
That's
boys.
Right.
We don't need him. I don't need you, David. But I wish you were here.
He's staring forlongingly at the empty chair there.
I'm going to sneeze later tonight and I'll know he'll be talking about me.
I would point out as well that you were also late today.
Yep.
Because it wouldn't be a podcast with Martin without him being late. So, as always, but,
gotta stick to custom, haven't you?
That's it. So, yeah. Next week we are talking Peaky Blinders. We're gonna do a full breakdown of the story and the plot and Peaky Blinders and favourite moments so far, yeah, that's for sure. They've done 4 seasons. Whether they'll be coming back for another one, I think, is yet to. Well, I'll do some investigation between now and then. That's right.
We will know by then.
That's right. So tune in for that. In the meantime, you can find out all of the other episodes that we've done and some gameplay videos, which will be coming back as well next week.
They will be back.
Some more videos on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/The Geekstation. You can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/The Geekstation as well. You're seeing a thread appearing there. Mm-hmm. You can find me on Twitter at Mr. Sinn Sinny. And I'm actually going to try and use Twitter a little bit more than just posting videos this year. It's one of my New Year's resolutions, actually, start to use Twitter. Yeah, that's right. Where can they find you, Martin?
They can find me at DavidTGS.
Nice.
And they can also find me at MartoTGS.
Why is it Marto at TGS, Martin?
Because Martin TGS was taken or is not working.
It's old habits die hard. What can I say? No. If you're listening to this on, I was going to say Netflix there, that would be awesome, but no.
We can sort that, David.
David, sort it out with your Netflix money.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this on iTunes, it would be awesome if you could give us a review, leave us some 5-star action. That would be fantastic.
Or just give us a review and I'll sing it.
And Martin is going to sing it. He has promised he would. So I'm really hoping that you're going to.
I will.
So someone please leave a review.
A real song.
And I'm actually I just suddenly thought that I maybe hadn't actually checked it in a while, so I thought I would check it, and no.
0.
We haven't even got a rating yet because not enough customers have left a review. So if you are listening to this on iTunes, please, could you
give us a wave?
Yeah, that's it. And that would be awesome. But in the meantime, thanks very much for tuning in. And we hope you enjoyed it with just me and Martin, because this is it now.
This is it.
So get used to it, all right?
This is the crew until further notice.
David should be joining us. He'll be joining us via remote satellite or something. I don't know.
Via the internet.
That's right. Yeah, the internet can do wonderful things, can't it? So hopefully we'll have him soon. But in the meantime, thanks very much for tuning in. And don't forget to check out everything else. And we will see you again next week. The only thing to say is it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from Sin.
What was this thing he said? He said, "Shut up" or something.
Yeah, boys.
Yeah, boy.
Shut up. I don't know. Anyway, we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Who needs David?
Who needs his new catchphrase?